shadows where the stories rise. Gangsta's paradise where truth never lies. Tune in deep, feel the drama unfold. Real life tales, bold and untold. In the shadows where the stories rise. Gangsta's paradise where truth never lies. Tune in deep, feel the drama unfold. Real life tales.
What up, though, fam? Your boy is back. And yes, you guessed it. I'm back with another cautionary tale as I continue to fill out the GP channel with fresh content for y'all. This episode, fam, this is a burner. We're not just dipping our toes in the water today. Taking y'all straight to Polk County, Florida. That's right, Polk County, because we're diving deep into the biggest fentanyl bust ever in the county's history. Trust me, you won't believe what went down. But before we dive head first into the madness, a little housekeeping for the fam. First, you gotta check out my new playlist. I've been grinding behind the scenes, and now I'm covering some of the juiciest, most mind-blowing scandals in the financial world. If you're into dark underbelly of the money, this is your binge. Now, if you're returning to the channel, you know the drill. Give me those thumbs up. Seriously, it helps the algorithm push the content out to more people. We want everyone in the family to be informed, right? And if you're new to the channel, what are you waiting for? Don't just watch. Join the fam by smashing that subscribe button. Let's grow this community. Oh, and don't forget to hit that notification bell too, so you don't want to miss out on these wild rides. Trust me, you want to be here for the next one. All right, preamble is over. You've been warned. Polk County awaits. Stay tuned, fam, because I'm about to take y'all on a wild ride. Let's get into it. 64 pounds of fentanyl, enough to hurt 14.5 million people. And Sheriff Grady Judd, he got some words for the drug traffickers who dare to bring it to Polk County.
We all work together to protect people and keep people alive and safe. So let me introduce you to the Sinaloa Cartel and the Jalisco Cartel. The Sinaloa Cartel has been weakened some with the arrest of its leadership. They're actually working together some with the Jalisco Cartel, which is the two largest drug trafficking organizations in Mexico. They call it transnational criminal enterprises. These people are violent. These people want your money, and they don't care whether or not they take your life. So we start out with these two groups of very dangerous people delivering a very dangerous drug. This is not the only drug that they deal with, but we're going to focus on fentanyl today. I'll give you the 30,000 foot overview. It started in July of 24 with a fentanyl pill investigation. Between July 24th to January of 25, there were 8 kilos of fentanyl.
Sheriff Grady Judd's press conferences are legendary. We need to capture that mix of serious law enforcement and his unique, no-nonsense clowning style. All right, buckle up, because the sheriff of Polk County, Florida, just made history in what he's calling the largest fentanyl seizure ever in the county. His detectives, working with multiple agencies, seized a staggering 64 pounds of this drug and arrested 8 people in the process. Let that sink in. 64 pounds with a street value of $4.5 million. And the sheriff himself pointed out, this wasn't some small-time bust. This was a direct hit on one of Mexico's 2 largest cartels, Jalisco and Sinaloa. The investigation kicked off back in July 2024 with the 2 separate undercover operations. 6 suspected members of the Jalisco cartel was nabbed, 29 pounds of fentanyl, while 2 members of the Sinaloa cartel were arrested with another 35 pounds. This wasn't just Polk County working alone. This was a massive multi-agency effort involving the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, Homeland Security Investigations from Tampa and Phoenix, U.S. Border Patrol, Auburndale PD, the State Attorney's Office, and even the U.S. Postal Inspection Service. They truly brought the heat. Now, how were these drugs getting into the U.S. and eventually to Polk County? Get this, a lot of it was smuggled inside car batteries. Yes, you heard that right. At the press conference, The sheriff, with his signature wit, explained how they did it.
It was just a little past their 25-mile limit. On April 28th, we got 5 kilos from Mexico. And how are they delivering it to us? In batteries. You see the pictures, and it's in the battery. That's right. So when you see someone on the side of the road, maybe putting a new battery in their car, you think to yourself, they've got a bad battery. They had to get another one. Well, what we know is 5 kilos of fentanyl will go in this battery. Now, let me tell you this. The battery still works, okay? So they rig the battery so that it cranks the car. It actually works. And then they just take the battery out, deliver the battery to you. You think it's a bad battery. They're going to take it in to exchange it. They put another battery in the car. Well, in fact, they delivered 5 kilos. May 24th.
First big break came when the Mexican drug supplier tipped off undercover detectives about a stash house in Atlanta in April 2025. Yes, this was a long-running operation. The 51-year-old Diaz flew from California to Tampa, then drove to Jonesboro, Georgia, to pick up over 2 pounds of fentanyl. He then brought it to Polk County to sell it to undercover detectives. He told them to call him if they wanted more. Bold move, Diaz. Soon after, that same Mexican supplier directed undercover detectives to another 11-pound fentanyl delivery, again in a car battery, in the Jonesboro area. A man was observed exchanging the battery. He was pulled over, and police and HSI agents found the fentanyl hidden inside. Another 4.5 pounds were seized from him by HSI in Georgia. Then in May, the supplier offered to transport 11 pounds of fentanyl directly from Mexico to Polk County. Gloria, 44, showed up to facilitate the sale. Once she counted the money, she contacted Miguel, 46, who brought the fentanyl to a hotel, also inside a car battery, assisted by his cousin, Maria, 40. If you know Sheriff Grady Judd, you know he doesn't pull punches, especially with criminals. He famously said, "We're going to put you in jail. We're probably going to embarrass you, and we're probably going to talk about you at a press conference." And he certainly followed through on that promise. This bust isn't just about the numbers, it's about sending a clear message to cartels and drug dealers everywhere. Don't bring your stuff to Polk County, or you'll be meeting Sheriff Judd, probably the inside of a jail cell. What we're seeing isn't just headlines. This story, it runs deep, deeper than the streets, deeper than you might think, and it's getting real fast. We're talking about ICE raids. These aren't isolated incidents anymore. They're popping off all across the damn country. You're a city, you're a town, you're a neighborhood. They could be next. And here's why it matters. Just recently, a Senate committee held a high-stakes meeting. Their commitment to go after these cartels, not just with a slap on the wrist, but in an aggressive, calculated, and powerful manner. This is a top-down declaration of war. This is another cautionary tale, fam, and I look deep inside of what I'm calling the new war on drugs. And make no mistakes, when the federal government escalates a war on cartels at that level, guess who ultimately feels the squeeze? The street-level dealers. Crack had its era. We saw what that did to the communities. Today, we're facing a new epidemic. It's colder, it's more potent, and the consequences of getting caught in its crosshairs are exponentially higher. Learn from this, fam. Pay attention, because content like this isn't just for entertainment. It's informative. It's a warning. Stay aware, stay safe, and understand the game before you get played. This new war is already here.